modern day country. There's something called a barbed wire fence. Now, the barbed wire fence, in a lot of cases now, if you can afford it, now watch this, watch this, watch this. It depends on the value of your livestock. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the value of your livestock. If you don't have cows worth the flip, you are definitely not going to invest any money in an electrical fence. Now some of you already, I haven't even given it a chance to explain itself, but you are already starting to figure out when I was fooling with these folk, it just cut. But over here, I'm getting a shock. It seems as if this is cruel. And even though the animal experiences a shock or a sting when he tries to go beyond that boundary, the momentary pain keeps that livestock from getting into the busy road. Livestock between 13 and 19, raise your hand. Keep your hand up while I talk to you. I'm not going to moo at you like a cow or neigh like a horse, but I'm going to call you livestock for a minute, because there are some hot spots that you wonder, why are they making me so uncomfortable? I think this is cruel. Well, you don't know like they know. If all I gotta do is shock you to keep you alive, I'd rather shock you to keep you alive than to win your friendship and get you run over in traffic. All right, you can put your hand down. Now, I don't expect you to understand that. I don't expect you to. I don't. There are grown-ups. When we teach leadership or go through anything, there are some folks that understand. I'm grown. I don't need somebody to tell me what to do. Yet you go to work every day and they don't only tell you what to do, they make you do it and make you do what you don't like and then make you smile like you like it. But God is saying, I'm just trying to say some things because I still have plans for you. Listen, but it hurts. It hurts that cow. It hurts that horse. It hurts the livestock. The fence does. But God allows those of us who are the sheep of his pasture to experience the pain of our failures, to encourage us. This is going to bless somebody. To encourage us to live within his boundaries. He's saying, look, when folk come in here, somebody got to know that if all of us in church, somebody is hurting because we're still living within his boundaries. Because somebody in church is not going to thank God consistently because they're mad at the church, mad at the word. But somebody's got to know that your pain means, oh, I wish I could go jam right now, but I got to. Why does he have me boxed in? Everybody else partying, grooving, getting down, having fun, getting on with their lives. That's because God's got a platter laid out for you in the second half. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't take notes either if I was some of you. I just looking. I just said, Lord, just let me hear him get out of here tonight. No, we gotta study. God is broadcasting you on a whole different network now. People really don't care about the title behind your name. They really don't. They really don't. I mean, really don't. They don't really care about the name of your church. What they're probably trying to figure out is, with all of this pain going on, how are you still alive? And at some point, you got to tell them, I chose pain over death. Some young Christian's going to come to some of you who are in church and say, do you ever want to party? You're going to say, yeah. Shoes. I still got some CDs and records at the house. When I'm not around y'all at church, now don't think. When y'all see me running through praise, and don't think I ain't exercise. I got some little Donna Summers on my Zumba too. Don't think don't think I exercise the Fred Hammond. I mean, I can. You know how they're going to ask you that. Do you ever want to wear your dresses real short? Tell them, yeah. Until my legs start spreading a little bit, you know. Now I try to not. But tell them. And tell them about how that got you close to the wire. And you got shocked. And then, yeah, you have some friends, and you got some relatives, and you got some people who talked you into going out there. Tell them. Most people think that we never approach the fence. Show them your scars. Honey, this is why my credit bad. I didn't tithe. Tell them the truth. Tell them. This is why I got a bad record now. I was saved when I got arrested. Tell them If you look back over your life, we got two words we can say right now, boy. Time flies. Wow. Except when you're sitting through a graduation ceremony. You ever go to graduation, the people you waiting on to graduate, it's like, I didn't know that was Twan last name. You got there at 6, graduation started at 8. Person that you are going to see graduated, they passed the B's and you didn't know why they weren't there. And passed the M, but they had BM on their name like that, like barely made it. Now you got to wait. You going, ain't this something? But time seems to just not move fast if you ever sitting at a graduation ceremony, or if you standing in the wrong line at the bank. Ooh, you in the line where the commercial people are supposed to be, and you didn't read it. You just sitting there. All you got to do is deposit that $48.32 check that you just got. You're in the wrong line, boy. These people writing and going on. What's wrong with them? Are they robbing the bank? No, they got some digits. And then time seemed to stand still during the intermission of your life story. I've been talking the last few weeks about telling your side of the story. And now you can tell the first half, but you're not sleeping well at night because you're in intermission. And now you're waiting because you don't know what the second half is going to be. It's too late for me to have a baby. I'm too tired to raise the other folks' kids. I ain't committed enough to go back to school. And y'all know I'm not, you understand I'm not being funny. You understand where I am? And you're at intermission. And because everybody around you are making decisions by going through the barbed wire fence, you feel like, I got to do this because they're doing it. And what you haven't done, you have not taken an inventory of those that are dying too soon. And right now, you're in between being a teenager under your mom and dad's rules and a grown person who's just older in age but ain't got nothing. You wonder why you got a curfew. Probably because your parents realized that if you had something, you'd have somewhere to go. Why you gonna stay out later than you stay and ain't got nothing to do, got nowhere to go, and nothing to spend? It's not called the curfew. It's called the boundary. It's an electrical fence. Your mom and daddy understand that's how you got here. I'm not going back now because this is the last Monday school for a minute. They understood that once upon a time, because that's what we're talking about. That time between your past failure and your future success can seem endless. Now, Pastor, what does this have to do with Mark, the 3rd chapter? It's called introduction. You don't start a game without the Star Spangled Banner. You don't start a play without the music. I'm getting you ready for the message. And if we get in the message, you don't understand that this man was not at the beginning of his life. He was not at the end of his life. He was at... No. See, at the beginning of your life, if the Lord has you to do some things, it bothers you and it embarrasses you and you don't move. Okay, y'all give me full attention, all right? All right. At the end of your life, you don't go because you don't understand that there's nothing to live for anymore. So most adults in here are very uncomfortable right now because they're not young enough to do what they used to do, and they're not old enough to pretend they've done it all. So they're at intermission. No. They can't collect Social Security, and they can't go back to mama's house. But they still got to eat. Boy, I wish. No, I don't. It's all right. I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat what mama's prepared. And I can't afford what I want. I'm right in the middle. Is this making sense? I can't just start preaching to you. You want me to preach so you can hurry up and go. I want it to be taught so it can last after you realize I prayed for him. So let me finish. And sometimes I just have to show you where I'm going, because some of y'all think I just like to talk. I don't like you. I don't like being ignored. I don't like being people looking away when I'm talking and people playing asleep. And I don't like that, just like you don't. My time is more valuable than your money. And since I've been given more time, I have to realize that I'm doing something for the person who has allowed me at the intermission of your life, or the intermission of my life, to say, now, time for a pep talk. This church is not at the beginning stages of IBOC, and it is not at the end. But what if you just joined church at intermission? You walked in here Sunday and you sit next to some beat up members who the first half of the ministry got talked about, laughed at, made fun of, called a cult, put out on Facebook, retweeted bad, mistreated by their families. You walk up in here like, well, you ain't all hype. You go to IBOC. And they go, you came in at halftime, I can tell. But they came in with enough energy to not just call themselves leaders, but to pick those up who have led and fallen. Not just say, I'm on a certain team because we have a name, but to perform like that team and make them wonder, are you on that? You sing every song and loud. Are you in the choir? No, but I sure have a living sound. What if that person that walks in your church at intermission cannot tell where you serve, but they can tell who you praise? When you come to church, do you stand out like you made it through the first half? Or do you back down? Like, God didn't do it, I did it myself, and I don't think he can bring me through a second half. In a performance, we stop and have intermissions. And there's that waiting time, and waiting time is not wasted time. I'm wasting my time. It depends on what you're waiting for. If I'm waiting on intermission to pass, I'm not wasting my time. This is the time I get refreshments. This is when I go get my nachos with no cheese. They're called Doritos. You get a certain age, you don't do the cheese that time of night. I'm just telling you. You'll know. You will know. You will know. You will say, how can I tell I'm getting old? Do you eat nachos after 7:30? If you still eat nachos after 7:30, you're young. I don't care what your appetite says, your body will go, At intermission, I don't care what they serve. Everything is not for you. They can give away nachos. Yeah, when you in your 20s, that's a ooh. You about 40 and 50, that's a That's how you start collecting insurance right there. But in an intermission, you have a time for refreshments, reflection. And at intermission, sometimes there is a redirection. Coach says at the halftime, look, the plan was that all of us, when that guy runs out, we just all roll back, and let him catch the pass. He's killing us, man. Now, this time, when he comes off the line, hit him. Just hit him and stay with him. Don't even let him make that cut. Couldn't do it during the game because there's too much going on. But at halftime, I can redirect us a little bit. When I first started out as a pastor, I didn't know how to do anything but preach and maybe, study and get ready for the word. And then the ministry would go through crisis like any other ministry did. And God said, it's not time to quit, son. It's time to redirect. And I got to pull you to the side. Now, here's the cool part. During the game, your mama, your daddy, all your fans watch you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First half is over. All the folk that were watching you are not allowed to go with you now because you are in isolation. They're not watching you. They don't know if you're bleeding. They don't know if you're cut. Some of them might get angry because they can't see you. You're not showing up. They don't know where you are. They don't know what you're doing. And the coach has you in the locker room. They saw you limp out. But after you spent some time getting some redirection, after the coach gave you some refreshments, maybe you had to get a shot or two to get rid of the pain. But the second half, people are wondering why you come in like this. They saw you get hurt the first half. But the second half, you tell mama, I'm all right. I'm going back. Why? Because something happened at Intermission. God is saying to some of you tonight, if I allowed you to come back after halftime, you need to run and not get weary. Walk but not faint. I didn't let you go back in the second half. As a matter of fact, I got news for you. If you're going to limp out the second half, coach says, stay in the locker room. I can't let you out there. Take off your uniform.